never been loved in like a romantic setting, it's also just like you also don't understand it. Is there something wrong with me? And I think the first time that I felt a little left out was in middle school. Now thinking back to it, I'm like,
oh my god,
people back in middle school, I just thought that if I become popular, if I become pretty, if I know how to dress myself, become confident, I will be in a relationship. When I talk to people that they're in a relationship, I don't feel envy. It's just never something that I can see myself in. Come on, focus.
Focus.
Why is it focus? Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Dude, my room is
So messy.
Hi guys, welcome back. I missed y'all.
Did y'all miss me?
No, but did you guys miss me? You guys better say yes. In this video, we are going to be talking about to my 20-year-olds who have never been loved. Or just to the general public.
It doesn't really matter.
And you might be like,
Yeah, what kind of love are you talking about?
I'm gonna be specifically be talking about romantic love.
What gives you the credential to talk about this? Like, who are you to talk about this?
Because I never dated before. To give you some background information, 22, never dated, never been in a romantic relationship, never. Okay, those are my credentials. Is there something wrong with me? Like what is missing? And I think the first time that I felt a little left out was in middle school. Now thinking back to it, I'm like,
Oh my god,
people back in middle school,
dating?
when I heard like people in my grade were having sex, I was like, I'm like, no way. Are you kidding me? What the fuck am I doing?
Eating dirt.
You know, the popular girl go date the popular guy. I just felt like that would never be me because I was not the popular kid. I grew up
Ugly.
Yeah.
ugly because ugly is not a thing. It's just a society makes it out to be. I'm never going to be loved. I'm never going to be in a relationship because I was not pretty enough. I was not popular enough. I just thought that if I become popular, if I become pretty, if I know how to dress myself, become confident, I will be in a relationship. And I think that back then it was always like relationship is the end goal. Like if I get a relationship, problem solved. This was my mindset as a kid. I think when I was younger, if I was given the chance to date, I might have taken it, maybe. But as I got older, because I've just never dated, it just became more difficult to go into it because I've just became so independent, doing everything by myself, just realizing I don't need a relationship to operate. I never had one and I'm fine now, I don't need one then. And I feel like dating should never be like a need, it should be like a want, like if you want to date. And my want for dating is also very low. Sometimes like when you're in conversations, for those of us our 20s, it's a very isolating time period. It's a big shift. It's like a young adult type of phase. You're a grown-up, but at the same time you're not a grown-up. You're meeting these new people and it's like maybe this might be your first time in like a more serious friend group. You figure out more of yourself, and some of us might not be with the right people, and at that point of time you might not realize that you're with the right people. You meet new people, they're in relationships, they have that go-to person, and it makes you feel envious.
Oh my god, like, they're loved.
If they're feeling like shit, someone will take care of them. They have a really bad day, they can talk to someone. If they have good news, they can share it with someone, and they can have physical touch and like hug someone. All of these things, that's evident that they are loved. For some of us, we've never gotten that. We never had like a romantic partner to lean on. Sometimes it could just make you feel this is not even a territory for me to step in. Nowadays, when people tell me that they're in a relationship, it's like the entirety of it, I feel I'm not missing out on it. I like certain individual aspects within a relationship. Or when I talk to people that they're in a relationship, I don't feel envy. It's just never something that I can see myself in. Some people might be like, oh, I want a family. I want a significant other. I want a boyfriend. I want a girlfriend. When I imagine the future for myself, it's just me alone. It's not like I'm sad about it. It's just genuinely how my brain is wired that I just imagine the future with me in it. That's it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Honestly, even now, I'm pretty satisfied with how that's going to be the future. I think the reason I have commitment issues is because I take
Commitment really seriously?
just because you've never been loved doesn't mean that you don't deserve love. When you've never been loved in like a romantic setting, it's also just like you also don't understand it. At least for me, like I don't understand how the dating culture goes. I don't know what the steps of going on a date is. I just don't know what a normal romantic relationship should be. And it's like a very unknown territory for me. Like how the fuck did you go from talking to a hookup, right? Like mind blowing. These days, when people talk about this type of thing, it's like I don't really feel left out because I personally do not center myself around dating. And I am not shaming for those who like date all the time, it's fine. I guess it's not my primary focus. So like the people who I talk to, their primary focus is not like dating. Like if they have partners, great. Not about like, you know,
Who did you hook up with? Like, did you hook up with anyone? Like,
if that's the tea that they want from me, they have chosen the wrong person.
Because I cannot provide that.
I feel like making friends can be easier when you have a significant other or just have experience with dating wise. I'm not saying that people who have dated are so social.
Don't come to me now. I don't
I feel like by dating someone, you have a certain type of social skill. Just because you've never been loved doesn't mean you are less worthy of a human being. Doesn't mean that you can't live your best life. You don't need to be loved by another person in order to have some type of worth. Don't let external validation determine your worth. Because I have seen quite a handful of people cannot be single. They date at a younger age, and ever since they break up a date, I can get where they're coming from, but of course I would never be able to fully understand because that's not who I am. Some people might just be really scared to be alone because they've never done that. As humans, you're very scared of the unknown. You don't know what that entails. For some people, it is scary. However, for those who like being alone, they might be really scared of dating. Why are you scared of dating? Because it's like the unknown. For those who are scared of being alone, they're fine with dating. They might not understand our fear. Just because you don't understand their fear doesn't mean it's any less valid. Because we have our own fears. We don't want other people to invalidate us, right? I feel like it's always healthy to get support from others, right? But you have to have some type of independence with yourself. You don't want to face your issues alone and you're just running away from it by being with other people. Some of these issues, it's like no matter what other people do, at the end you have to face these issues yourself. Because sometimes when you're just constantly really fixated on other people, you don't know who you are anymore. Because you don't even have the time to discover yourself because you're just constantly with other people. It is just really important to have some sense of identity within yourself.
I've never been loved before.
This is the only person that's ever going to love me ever, so I have to date this person. But in reality, you don't even like that person. You guys don't really match that well, to be honest, but it's coming out of like desperateness, okay? I feel like when we do things coming from a desperate place, you might sacrifice some standards, some non-negotiables, and that could really negatively affect yourself. When you haven't been loved ever, you lose hope in it. You're like, oh my god, am I ever going to find someone that is going to love me? And it feels shitty. It's a shitty feeling. Your soul craves love. Look for other sorts of love that can make you fulfilled from your friends, from relatives, whatever. Especially for those of us who have trust issues and commitment issues. Like even if you are in a relationship,
when is this gonna go wrong? I'm gonna be on the lookout for things to go wrong.
and you might even go to the extent of purposely making something go wrong just to prove your own point, as in self-sabotage, right? Sometimes no matter how much you love a person, it can still go wrong because sometimes the way you love a person might not be how that person wants to be loved. Someone can be pouring everything to you, being like, I love you, I'm doing all this for you, but you're hurting me. That's not how I want to be loved though. To solve all this, one, you could date. That could always be a solution.
For me, that's not the case.
Yeah, if I ever do going on a first date, you guys will be the first one to know. Don't worry. I don't want the comment section to be like,
Yeah, just go on a date.
I don't have a crush right now. Who am I going on a date with? I like the idea of it, but in reality, no. I try to find hobbies. I try to find things I like to do. Some of you guys might be like,
Well, yeah, you're just distracting yourself.
I feel like life itself is just distracting yourself. You know, you can't force someone to love you. You can't go be like,
Hey, you gotta love me.
you have to love yourself. And I think that is one of the more difficult things because you're like, how do I love myself? I'm me. But slowly and slowly, I realized that I do things for myself. Oh, I see this new ice cream flavor. I'm gonna go try it. It's kind of like the things that you would do for a special someone, but you're doing it for yourself. I think that is self-love. And for me, something that helps is I think of my younger self. First thing that helps is pulling up a picture. I remember some of you guys even said that.
How do I love my younger self? Well, people in the past never loved my younger self. So when I see my younger self, I don't love her.
I thought that was kind of like an interesting take. I'm not gonna lie. You need to realize how wrong it was that you were treated like that as a child. Because you can't sit here and also just be, I hate my younger self too. I'll just be honest, that's mean. You can't treat a child like that. This might take time to realize my younger self deserved better because you're just conditioned into thinking that I don't deserve better, I don't deserve good. Your younger self just being treated really badly as a defenseless child. That is never okay. That's a horrendous thing to do. I think that the first thing is that it was not okay for you to go through. It's kind of painful to realize there's anger within you. You're like, oh my god, like I'm angry. And you should be. And you need to think about how you need to deal with that anger. Maybe you need to distance yourself off from people and maybe seeking out support and help. The end goal is to just know that your younger self deserved better. So you can take a look at your younger self and be like, she deserved better. If that can't help, then look at other kids. If you look at a child right now, you know, just see how the entire scene plays out. You know, the guardian is not giving the child love. They're just withholding it to punish them, to make them feel unlovable. You think that's okay? I don't think it's fucking okay. So if you can see that, being like, that's not okay for that kid to go through that, apply that to yourself. Why is it suddenly okay for you to go through that? Not okay for that kid, not okay for you as a kid either. The healing takes bit by bit, and sometimes you don't see how you're healing, but I promise you, if you take little steps, you might not even notice, but as time goes on, it adds up to something. Your healing adds up to something. You're doing things differently than you would have like a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever. It builds up to something in the future. You've never been loved. Doesn't mean that you can't go fucking love yourself. You are not worthless. You are not losing something just because you've never been loved romantically by a person. You are whole with yourself. You can do all the things that your significant other can do for you. I really genuinely do think that you can give a lot of things to yourself. People who come from a place of self-love, they don't sit in their room and be like,
I've never been loved before. I'm so shitty. My life is over.
people who I've seen who have self-love, they're confident about themselves. The right person will come, and if they don't, that's fine because I have myself. To develop this type of self-love, it might be easier for you to go meet other people. I'm just meeting them because I want to. I don't need them to be in my life, but I would like to meet them. I would want them to be in my life. And it comes from a healthier mindset. You need to have your own happiness before you can give happiness to others. And again, I'm not saying that your goal in life is to give happiness to others, but it sure feels fucking great, right? When you're a happy person, it shows. It spreads to people around you. You might not even realize that you're making them happy by being happy. And sometimes there might be those really sick people that are just like, just because you're happy, I'm gonna tear you down. Those people, stay away from them. For a good amount of people, they would want to hang out with someone who's happy. Like when you love yourself, it's easier to interact with other people and not feel like at a loss. First of all, you need to develop self-love. If you feel like you've never been loved romantically by another person, all I can tell you is that me as a single human being on this planet is telling you same. I think as humans, we just want someone to really relate to us, just to be able to feel like
I am not an outcast.
hopefully that can provide you with some type of relief.
And hopefully,
You can also meet people in the comment section. Oh my god, imagine I get mad hate when I go on a first date. But just so you know, if I do go on a first date, I will let you guys know. I will probably keep the date anonymous just to protect their identity. Like sometimes just like maybe I could just go on a date just to be, for the fun of it. And I'm like, ah, no.
You're weird.
You know. Okay, maybe you're a little weird, but same though. So quirky. Oh my god, don't say that. I'm sorry I said that. You're worthy. You're lovable. Remember that. Those of you guys who are in good relationships, who have been loved, good for you guys. I am happy for you guys, okay? Love you guys. But sorry, this video is not for you. Love you guys though. I feel like I say this in all of my vlogs, to be honest. Like I'm always like, oh, I've never been in a relationship. And you just see me doing my little thing alone. It's pretty obvious also, like I'm pretty comfortable doing everything by myself.
Like, yes, it gets lonely. It gets hella lonely sometimes.
Sometimes the thing that you enjoy doing can also have negative emotions with it as well. But yeah, it does get a little lonely sometimes. And you can see that I get lonely because I tell you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this video, okay? Let me know what you guys think. Stay safe and responsible. That makes no sense. But anyways. Can you tell anyways is my buffer word? Okay, anyways. Stay single or get into a relationship. Up to you. You to decide. There's no wrong answer.
You do you.
It's your life. Make the most out of it because you live once. YOLO. I hope you guys will have a lovely rest of your day, afternoon, or night. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week because you deserve it, because I said so. I will see you guys all very, very soon. Okay? Okay, bye-bye.